Yeah, so let's start tables now. So I'll just start a new file here. So this is important, the document type. Every time you don't forget it to mention, and also HTML. So every code we write that goes inside the HTML, and HTML has two parts, head and a body. We'll be talking about head in the coming classes. So let's first finish off the body part. So here I'll give a heading saying HTML tables. Let me save. I'll save this inside Tutoslive as tables.html. Cool. So now let's go there and see how does it look like tables. Yeah, here. So let me close this Gmail here. Robert by DiCaprio by, and let this be. See here, I'll just increase the font. Okay, I just typed the heading H2 here, and that's it. Nothing more than that. Now let's go and do table. So table table again tag has meaningful name called table. So a table, what does a table have? A table will be having a row. What does a row has? A row may have a data cell. So here, this is where it goes. Like say, let me say here, what we do. Let me write something. Let me write Tutoslive. So I've discussed about the tables in the previous classes. You have missed it. So, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Cool. I'm really sorry. I didn't know that. Yeah, I did not share my screen. Now you can see my screen. So yeah, this is what I typed. Like the doc type HTML, then this part, the HTML part, then head, the body. Then I just typed heading tag H2, and the table part. Like a table has a table tag. Then every table has tr. Without tr, there is no meaning, and every tr has a td. I have discussed about these topics in the previous class. Like which you will be seeing soon, but I'll just explain about tables like real quick. So now let's take let me draw this here. Oops, let me draw lines. So I don't know how good this. Oops. So this is a table. So what does a table typically have? A table will be having rows. A table will be having columns. I don't know what's wrong with this. Yeah, maybe I'm holding shift, so that's the reason they're going wrong. So yeah, this is a table. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at drawing, at least on a screen using keyboard. So this is a table here. Now, how does we describe it in HTML language? So the total table is a table tag. Where's you? So this is table. Now you see here every particular thing. This is a row. So how do we do here? Let me write here. So this is a tr. Again, let me type itself. Tr. Again, let's copy this, paste it. Oops. Seriously, this is killing me. Let me just type everything. So everything here is a tr. Tr is again a table row. Okay, tr means a table row. Let me move this here. I don't know how to. Whenever there is a particular cursor point, only it can be moved, I guess. Let me move this. Okay, let it be. That's a problem. See, whenever I click on it, it takes me to that mode. Hello Raju. The problem with your link sharing was you registered as vraju at outlook.com, but your email was vraju something else. So that was a problem where you could not receive the whole class links. I've been sending these links because we registered with that particular email address. Can you hear me? If you can't hear me, you can type in. Uh, for Raju's sake, let me put the first screen again. Hey, Raju, this is what if you can't hear me, or if you got any questions, you can just type in the chat area here, which is shown by the arrow. Fine. Let me go ahead with the class. So coming to the class, so this is TR. Let me close these TRs real quick. TR. TR and one last TR. So this is how exactly we can represent the HTML table. So each cell is a TD. So each cell is a TD. I won't be typing the whole thing here. Let me come back. Make this into one. Oops. So each cell is a TD here. I guess you can understand that point. Like let me use a big one that can help us. So whatever the data you see on the front end inside a table, it is written inside these TDs. So there'll be nothing, no content inside the table tag or the TR tag, but the whole content will be inside the TD tag. So let's go back and see how does it look like. Now see, Tutoslive. So let me write another TD saying your tutor. So let's see how does it look like. Oops. So I did there, and you see it appears side by side because they are in the same row. You're here, Arun? Raju? You're here? Cool. For visual purpose, let me give an attribute to table. Let's say border. Border equal to, let's say 1. So this will oh man, why do I come to Chrome every time? So let's say, see, that will make us understand, okay, this is a table. Got it? Let me just copy this row here, and let us have some 3 rows. So now we have 3 rows of the same data, and let's see how does it look like. You can see here it's a table. See, this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, and this is the first TD, second TD. Then again in the next TR, this is the first TD. In the next TR, this is the next TD. In the last TR, this is the first TD, and in the last TR, this is the second TD. You following me? So the table, it's a simple structure. It's again about practicing. So how well you practice, that's very important. Yeah, Arun, you here? Raju, can you hear me? Arun? Cool. Yeah. So it's just like plain simple. Like I gave a border and a TR, a TD. So that's it. Let me make it more meaningful. Okay. So what I say is, let me put 1 here, and let's take some attendance. So I say Sagar. Then I say last TD. I say present. And let's say Arun. And as the last TD, I say oops, you're present. Or let's I mean present and absent. I say here. Oops, this is number 2 and Arun here. I say now there's one more guy. Let's say Sandeep is not here. So Sandeep uh, not here. Oh, I missed one more. So TD 3, and we just have a new guy here. It's called he's Raju. So let's put his details too. And number 4, Raju when he's here. Now let's see how does it look like on the browser. So I just saved it and I go to the browser, I refresh. Now you can see here the tabular structure here. 1 Sagar here, Arun here, 3 Sandeep not here, 4 Raju here. Does it make any sense if somebody who just comes into the website and looks at it, if you like, hey, what is one, what is Sagar and what is here? So that doesn't make any sense. Let us make it more meaningful. So for that purpose, let me open a new TR on top of everything, and we have another tag which is a table heading. You see here th is called table heading. So I say this is a serial number, and I say th this is name, and I say th let me say how we call I'll say @ of Tutoslive. @ doesn't mean a Twitter handler, but it's like easy here. Let's see how does it look like now. I go here, refresh. Now this does make some sense. Like saying, hey, the first column is a serial number, the next column is name, and the next column is something. It says, hey, is this guy here at Tutoslive now or not? So this what to make sense, we have added a header. Now you can see a difference here. Did you notice something here? The name is in the middle. Like say there is some space on the left and the right side. But whereas the content, the plain TD is left aligned. You notice something there? So by default, the table heading is a middle aligned, whereas the table data TD is left aligned. So let's play with the attributes of table, which the document which I have shared with Arun right now. It has all the attributes of a table tag. Yeah. So yeah, also bold. Yeah, I forgot to say it will be bold. So the default behavior is bold to show that it's a heading. Hey dude, this is the heading. This is what it what is it? The consecutive data here from here is the table elements, whereas this is the table header. Just like the heading tags, like say this is a heading tag which is bold by default. So even this is bold by default. So let's go ahead and add some attributes to the table. We have seen the border. Let me put one more, say cell spacing. Oops, equal to, I say 0. Let's see what happens. Cell spacing equal to 0. I go here. See, I'll explain you what is cell spacing. Now you see there is a gap between the table border and the table element border. You see it, and there is a gap between all the table cells. Okay, now let's see what happens if I give cell spacing equal to 0. Now you see there is no gap at all. So this should be given every time when we define a table. We gotta give cell spacing equal to 0. If you give a border only, if you don't give a border, it doesn't matter. Okay, Let me remove these two things and come back here. Uh, Refresh. There's nothing, like, it's structured, but there was no border. So whenever we give a border, whenever I give a border, make sure you give the cell spacing equal to 0 so that it doesn't look bad. Now see, it looks a little better from the previous, like where there are like double lines. So in that case, the cell spacing equal to 1. Let us see what happens if I give cell spacing equal to 1. I go here, I refresh, and I see the default cell spacing equal to 1. I guess it's 2. Let me give 2 and see. Yeah, I guess the previous one was 2, and I can give any number. Say let me give 10 here cell spacing. So let's see how does it look like. See, this is how it looks like. So that's what called cell spacing. Okay. Now let me go back and make spacing equal to 0. So there is one more attribute called cell padding. Let me say cell padding equal to, let me give 5. Let's see what happens if I give 5 cell padding. Now you see what is cell padding. I'll explain you here. Now every cell element, in every cell element, you see there is a certain space from the border of the cell element to the content. You see here for Arun, for here on the top, on the left, on the right, on the bottom. So the things which are on the bottom or on the top is cell spacing, like the space. Forget about the left and right. Consider only the bottom and the top. Now let me refresh this. Now you see here I guess cell padding equal to 5. That's the reason they are like this particular space. You can see here the space on the top and on the bottom has been increased. Now let me make it 0. Let's see what happens if I make it 0. You can see here they've been compacted, like there was little space. It's a default space. We can decrease that space too using CSS styling, but as of now, yeah, this is how the cell padding. I'll give the meanings here. Let me give the meaning in the program itself. So let me give them as a list. So li, the first li is cell spacing equal to space between each cell, and then another li, I say cell padding equal to space between between cell data and, I say, cell border, let's say. Oops. So I go here, I refresh. Now you see I have defined like cell spacing is a space between each cell, and cell padding space between cell data and cell border. So always keep in mind that this should be 0 anytime, and this as well. So that is about cell spacing and cell padding. Right, now let's do one more thing with the table. Let's go and say now the default alignment of the table is, what is that, the default alignment? If you can spot it, what's the default alignment? Anybody? I guess Raju is pretty new, and I guess he may not be following us. But Arun, what is the default alignment of the table as you can see it on the browser? Awesome, it's left. Now I go ahead and say align equal to right. Let's see what happens with the table. So align equal to right. See, it went to the right side. It starts from here and keeps on moving here. So that's right, and I'll say center. See, it has come to the center. It looks pretty pretty good now. Instead of the previous left aligned and the right aligned, center aligned looks a little good for me, and I'll go with that. And there is one more attribute called BG color equal to let me give yellow. Let's see what happens if I give BG color equal to yellow. Now you can see here the background of the table has been changed to the yellow. So BG color means background color. I have given this in the document also, which I have shared with you. So BG color is yellow. Now let me see what else we have with this. I guess that's all attributes for the table tag. Now let's go and concentrate on the TR tag. Oh, there is one more attribute which is width. Now you see what is the width of the table here now? The width of the table is whatever the contents it has. Like if I add one more say TD or TH or so let me just see and add another TH here. Uh, Let me say guest or student. Guest is someone who only comes like once a week or once or guest visit. But student is someone who was really interested in Tutoslive. Let's see what happens if I just give a heading and do not give the table data. See, it's blank because there is nothing. There were no TDs. You see there? See here? There are 4 here TH, whereas only 3 in the TD. That's the reason. So what is this? Sagar. Sagar is neither guest nor student. He's a tutor. So and with Arun is say a student, and this Sandeep is also a student. I don't know the reason behind his absence today. He did not tell us. So let me put as guest. He may come tomorrow and ask us like, hey, why did you put me as guest? So Raju, I say neither guest nor student. He's a newcomer. So now let's see what happens on the browser. If I go here, just refresh. See, that's it, done. So what is the width of the table now? The width of the table is the content size. I say. So it starts from here, it ends from here. Now instead, let me give a width now. Let us see what happens. Let's start with small width. I'll say 100. 100 here means 100 pixels. You guys following me? Yeah, we'll come to that. I'll come to that. Let me finish the table attributes first. Then we'll go to the TR attributes. Then we'll go to the TD attributes, and we finish the class. Okay? Fine. Let me start with a small. Oops, did I save it? Yeah. Even though I gave 100, it doesn't take because it's more than 100. Let us start with 300. See now, the size of the table has been increased. Previously, if you want to see, I can show that, but I don't want to confuse you guys how to see the table width. Now you can see the difference, right? It has changed. Now let me give us 500 instead of 300. Let's see what happens with the table width. Now you go here, refresh. Now you see, it has been increased again. So this is how I control the width. And so yeah, these are the attributes like width. So every time what I really do is like instead of these numbers I give 100%. So 100%, what does 100% mean? Let us see what is 100%. Now you can see 100% is nothing but occupy the whole width of the page. That's what 100% really mean. And let me go ahead and say dude, don't occupy 100%, just occupy 80% of the screen. Let's see what happens. See, it has come down to 80%. It is center aligned with the background color yellow and a cell padding and cell spacing equal to 0. Now let me go ahead and give cell padding as 5 or 10. Let's give us 10 and see what happens. See, it is much better than previous, right? Cool. Now I want this this particular header to be in a different color. I don't want yellow. Let me distinguish. So I'll go ahead and for the heading I'll give BG color equal to I'll give blue. So let me go ahead I gave the BG color for the heading row as blue. That's me. It's blue, but it's not that appealing to my eyes, so I just go ahead and say cyan. Yeah, this is better. See now, I can change the color of the particular row also. How should it look like? Now let's say let's change the color of the guest or student heading part. I want it to be really highlighted so that whenever someone comes in, they can directly jump on and look on this particular section. Let's say at the rate Tutoslive. So I'll go ahead and this particular th, I'll give bg color equal to let me give pink. So let's see what happens. You can see here, yeah, this is how I can change the colors of every cell or every row or even the table, the whole table. So yeah, Arun, are you clear with the question about the data color? You can change the data color too. Yeah, you cool here? So that I will go back and yeah. Hello Raju, Raju is typing finally. What's up, man? You here? Yeah, great. Raju, I've told you about the problem. Why didn't you receive the class links? Because you registered with a different email. So after the class, just go back to your that Outlook email which you have given for the class registration and see you can find bunch of links. So this is the ninth class, I suppose, of Tutors Live. So you will be receiving 9 into 3, 27 emails in your Outlook email if you can go ahead and see. And you missed a lot of content too, so don't worry, all these classes are recorded. You need not worry about anything. Just, oh, that's fantastic, great, yeah, cool. So yeah, if you can just if you are using the same email ID which I have sent you the links, I'll go ahead and change that particular email address in my backend system, which I can do, or I can send you a brand new link and you can do it by yourself. It's up to you. Yeah, I know it. Don't post it here because this is recorded. So if someone sees, they can spam you. Fine, not a problem. I'll cut this out in editing. So yeah, Arun, this is how you do. Now see, there's little problem again. I feel like why can't these be like these headings? Can I do that? Yeah, let's go ahead and see how can we do that. Now for the TD, all all TDs are. Yeah, I guess so. Let's try with this. I didn't try anytime. I use CSS to do this particular styling because in one shot I can do for all cells. Let us see. Yeah, I can do it. Awesome. So yeah, you can see here. I made everything as center aligned instead of like left aligned. I made them as center aligned, which is fairly good now to show as a tabular data. Like it's, yeah, this looks like appealing to me. And what I want to do is like I want to change the whole color of this particular row into pink, so that everybody will go ahead and that caught attention. So let me go ahead here and change every BG color to pink. So I just copy here. So let's see how does it look like. Great, this is cool. So let's change every row as T align. So I'm just copying this. So yeah, everything is set now. Let's see. Yeah, everything is center aligned, and there is V align to vertical align, which is middle. I guess we don't want to use it here because it's all cool and fantastic. You guys got any questions here? Arun, you got any questions here? So you can have a clear picture on that. Great. Now there are only two concepts left in tables, which are really important. I say these two concepts are no. I have aligned TR. I have aligned the TR actually, the row. I have aligned the whole row. Even yeah, TD has alignment too. Let's say align equal to left. I've taken one particular TD and I say align equal to left. Let's see what happens. Now you see here, I gave this TD to be aligned left aligned. So I can do that too. So I can do the I can apply this align property on whatever the element I wanted to. So if I wanted the alignment to be on TD or if I wanted the alignment to be on TR, yeah, then I can do that. If I give the alignment to TR, it aligns the complete TD elements too. Yeah. Well, yeah, TR takes care of that particular element. Like if I give that attribute to the TR itself, it will take care of the its children. So let's call them as children of TR. TD is the children of TR. TR is again the children of of table. So whenever I give the alignment to TR, it takes care of its children and says, "Hey guys, this particular we are middle aligned or we are center aligned. So everybody be in that alignment." So yeah, TR will take care of it. You need not worry. Great. Then the next two attributes of a TR. These attributes are only for TR. It's called row span and call span. The name themselves says like row span. It means like, hey, this particular TD must be in a row span. Yeah, it will override. Okay, the order I say, the order which it follows, like say I gave yellow to this whole table, but then it travels from table. It sees the background color as yellow, so it applies yellow to the whole of the table. Then it comes to TR. So again TR I have overridden the background color to cyan. So what it does, it completely colors the TR, the table row of this particular table row to cyan. Then what happens, then it comes here, it comes to this TH and it sees again a background color pink. So what it does is like it overrides cyan and puts pink over there. You got it? So that's the order of applying the attributes. If I don't give any attribute to the TD, it takes the attributes of TR. So that's how they follow. As I told, like this guy TR is the parent of TD. So whatever the attributes I gave to the TR, the TD should follow. And if I give special attribute to TD saying, hey, don't follow TR, just follow my attribute. So yeah, it follows that attribute. So that's how it works. Yeah. Any other questions here? Great. So call span and row span. So as the name themselves is like span it over a row or span it over a column. So let's go ahead and see an example. Now here, let me say what how do we take an example here? Let me go and see if I can make any example. Let's say let's take the countries here or states here. Let's just take states here. So I assume like this Sandeep and Raju are from the same state, and whereas Arun is from one state and Sagar is from one state. So let's say how can we represent it? So I'm just opening one more TR here. Let me cell padding. Let me make it to 0 again because it looks way bigger. So I put another TH here saying location. So here Sagar is from he's from, I say, Karnataka as K, and Arun is from Florida, so FL, and Sandeep is from Hyderabad, so he's from AP. Hyderabad is in AP, and I assume Raju is from Hyderabad too. Raju, are you from Hyderabad? Let's assume. There's no problem in assuming. So yeah, I say TD TD and the state is AP. Now let's go here to the and just refresh it. So you can see here. So instead of two APs, I want to show them in a single, what you say, single uh, row, I suppose. Yeah, in a single row. So instead of showing them in two different rows, let me show them in a single row. So how can I do that? Well, in that case, I say here. So this particular TD should span in two. So let me say row span equal to 2, and I'll remove this TD. So I go here, refresh. Now you see here. So what it does actually, it says, hey, this particular row should span into this particular column. I'm sorry, this particular column should span into two rows. So that's what it says. So that's the reason it says, okay, row span equal to 2. So in that case, I have to delete this row because this particular row or this particular data cell is occupying two row spaces. So I have to delete this such that it appears to me, in a manner, in a shape, in a structure. So you got it? Like, row span is nothing but, okay, hey, this column is going into two rows. That's what a row span does. Okay, and it's all about practice. Again, you just go there and randomly give row span, call span, and see how does it look like. Make sure you give a border and you give a background color to know the differences. Okay, we'll be playing with that tomorrow. In the first session, for those guys who miss tables, we'll be playing with the row span and call span tomorrow, so you need not worry, but make sure you practice how to do that, like row span and call span, and make sure you give a background color and you give a border so that it makes some sense. So that is row span. Now let's see, and let's see call span. How can we do call span? Let's say, how do we do call span here? Okay, let's say I'm the default guy, so I'm a tutor, and I should be in Tutoslive. So it doesn't matter if I'm a tutor, I should be in Tutoslive. So let's say I'll remove this tutor, and here I'll make them as like guest or student. Here are tutor. Okay, here as tutor, whatever. Let's see how do we do that. So here, coming here, so this guy should span in two columns. So yeah, I'll go here and call span equal to, I say 2. Now what should be removed here? I should remove the next column. So I'm removing the column here as tutor. You got it? If I give call span equal to 2, I have to remove the subsequent column. If I give row span equal to 2, I should remove the subsequent row, or the particular TD, I say. Now I go here, I saved it, I'll save. You can see here as tutor. You see here, it's spanning into two rows. Two columns. You got here? Great. So that is all about the what do you say, tables. In the document I shared, there is an assignment on tables. Do that assignment. Also do play with this row span and call span in your local system. All you need is a notepad++ and a browser. So you just have to type in the code and do. I'll be sharing these two files on Dropbox. So I'll be sharing to those emails which are registered with Tutoslive. So this is only available to the students only. Students I say here is the people who are registered. And yeah, that is about today's class. So if you got any questions, just be prepared. We'll discuss in the first half tomorrow, because the people who are coming tomorrow will be knowing about today's class too. So if you got any questions, pop those questions in tomorrow's class in the first session. Okay. So with that, I suppose let me stop the screen share, and I'll upload even today's file on Dropbox. And Arun, you'll be getting these files maybe by evening. So whenever I woke up next morning, I'll just upload them on Dropbox. Okay, and I'll talk to you offline. Uh, and Raju, just make sure you know like our page on Facebook, and keep bragging about us, keep telling people about us, so that we get more traction, more attention. And again, remember this: the total notes, files, and videos are only shared to those students who are registered. If you're coming from Facebook, or if you're coming from any other page, and if you're not registered with us, you won't be getting these links. So that's